Speaking purely from a commercial point of view, you may have thought that there would be benefit to the diamonds. But if you know for the fact that the Russian diamonds take about 30% of the market in the West, that 30% cannot be immediately replaced by anybody. That's a risk. We are in the diamond business for the long haul.
Your economy is very much diamond dependent. You've been trying over the past years to get more parts of the value chain to happen within the country. Where are you standing at, and is it still a long way to go? Or are you happy with the current status quo?
Our engine is rocking along. We are charging, we are determined. We want the value chains to be developed in country. We want to do this through our own production systems. We want to do this with our own company, the Ogovango Diamond Company. You might know of it. We're going to ramp up its participation in the diamond space. And we're in very deep discussions with the producers and the manufacturers, and we would get more value out of our diamonds.
They're currently negotiating a new long-term agreement with De Beers, the biggest diamond company and the major partner of the government of Botswana. What are you hoping this new negotiations will achieve?
Well, if you look at it this way, we're negotiating with De Beers, but in De Beers, we're also negotiating with ourselves. 15% of De Beers is ours, right? So we have an inherent interest in sustaining this relationship. So we're negotiating for the good of both of us. So we do not lose sight of the necessity to lock this down, seal it, and close it. So, we'll get it done, and we'll get an outcome that is mutually beneficial and good for producers, manufacturers, jewelers, consumers, and investors in the value chain pipeline.
But you're reported to not be really happy about the amount of diamonds that are still leaving the country in a rough form, with that there are not enough diamonds that are being processed currently in the country.
Yes, so obviously that's what we're trying to ramp up, but it's improved a lot because the number of factories has increased. It's not 8 more, it's 30 plus that we have in Botswana. And that means these are being processed to some point. Obviously our intent and our interest is in processing as many as possible to the highest level and then selling them.
Now, if you look at Botswana, it is one, if not the positive example for development on the continent. What is it that other countries on the continent can learn from Botswana, and could you possibly even be a role model for other countries on the continent?
Yes, in Botswana, being the longest continuous democracy in Africa, it stands to good logic that we ought to be a model, and that is the number one priority. Once that system of governance and is established and deeply rooted, the rest follows, because investment and development follows stability and predictability of governance. Trust comes in. So your multilateral partners come in, your banks come in, your investors come in, and your people participate in that.
Governance is the major secret?
Or fighting corruption is extremely important. And our purpose for being in government is to do it for the people. That is it. Because when you get the public good enhancement in the investment of that, everything else grows.
So guys, in that video you see the president doing a given interview on the diamond culture in Botswana. Botswana is in fact an emerging economy, yes, but it took them 2 decades to reach where they're at. But keep this in mind, Botswana population is like 2.8 million, almost 3 million people. That's the same population as Jamaica. I'm from Jamaica, and our country have like 3 million people, so it's not that great population. So when he's saying Botswana must be used as a steady democracy and all that, you can't compare it to like South Africa. We have over 60 million people. Zimbabwe, same 40 something million. Ghana have over 15, 16 million people. So all of these, Tanzania and all these countries, all of them surpass Botswana at least 5 times over when it comes to the population. So you cannot say what works for them cannot work for a bigger country. It's impossible. You can't put 60 million people with 3 million people. It's not the same level of of governance. This will take way more than this. So that's a false narrative. So take that out. That's just ridiculous. And so let's get back to the diamond. In the video, they said that Botswana they own 50% of the diamond, but it's not true. Even if they do, right? De Beers have the lion's share of mining gold, diamond in Botswana, and 90% of the gold mined in Botswana is from De Beers, right? In De Beers, the government only have 15%. They have 15% shareholders, shares in that company. So even if Botswana government own 50% of the diamond, they still have to take that 50%, give it to De Beers to refine it and process it. And then when they give that 50%, they only get back 10% on that 15% out of that 50%. So they lose almost all that diamond they said just something. So it's not really the same as owning 50%, because as I said, they have about 30 companies, factories in Botswana mining diamond, but it's not refined in Botswana, and that's where the discrepancy come, right? Because if for instance, let's say let me simplify it for those who don't understand it. If you have a garden, you raise, let's say you have a garden that has a mile long of, let's say, oranges, right? But you don't have a factory to process the juice. You don't have the machines to pick the fruits and the manpower to pick the fruits. You don't have the manpower to dispose of the waste, right? So you hire a company. The company comes in with all the things, and they take all the oranges and just ship it out the country. All they do is pay you for the oranges. But if you have a factory on your property, when the fruits are picked, it goes to the factory. You have workers there. You get tax off that, revenues off that. And then they have to make the juice and bottle it and all that. So everything is purchased there. It's the same thing with the gold, with the diamond. It's not refined because they don't have the factory, they don't have the machineries, they don't have the resources, they don't have the manpower. So the company brings in their own, or they train them, but they still pay them a minimum wage, basically. So the government can only get revenue off the actual raw diamond itself, but not the processing it, not the polishing of it, not the excess or the part they don't need, they still use it to do other stuff. So that is also go to the company. So in this sense, they are losing big time. That's why in our previous video I did, the Botswana president, Masisi, said that he gonna change, if De Beers don't sign a new deal with the country, which expires in June, he's gonna walk away from De Beers and work with a different company, because what? They're only getting 10% of the diamond. So if and in the previous video I did as well, the diamond company makes last year 32 billion, I think they made last year, and they have 10 billion in operational costs. So they take 10 billion from 32 billion, they leave like 20 something billion. And Botswana only get 10% of that. So that's like what, 2 billion, 2.5, 3 billion max. So majority of the shares of the diamond profits goes to the company, which is in England-based company. So they don't get nothing from that. So that's why he's now trying to change that deal and say, listen to me, your contract is expiring. If you want to continue working in my country and mine diamonds, I need, let's say 40% or 50% or 50-50. I don't know what percentage the current president wants, but I'm thinking he no longer want that 10% that he's getting. So he's gonna up the ante. So if they don't agree, they got to leave, because we just find someone else to work at. There's all these other companies to work with. So I agree with the president. You got to go if you cannot give me a better deal, because you're making all the money, I'm making chump change. Even though my economy is growing, but I only have 3 million people, so it's not that hard to grow an economy with 3 million people. But we need to, that's why in the video as well, they said that they are training citizens of Botswana to polish and all that with the diamonds, which is a good thing. That's a good move. But they also need to make sure they build refineries in the country to refine the diamond there, not ship it out, the raw material out, and then, you understand? They have to be cut, polish, price, packages here and then put it on the market. Not you come take the raw rock, go, do it all out of your country, and I get nothing off. Not come out of revenue, I get nothing. So anyway, that's my take on that. So thanks for listening. If you agree, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. If it's a good move by the president to request a new contract, which expires in June, and if they don't, you're gonna tell them, yo, well, you guys to go, we'll work with someone else. Let me know what you think. I don't know. Peace, one love. Boom.